Hi everyone, Kirk Monroe again with Lightning Step. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about how to automate your accrued accounting within Lightning Step for revenue. So showed in the billing configuration dashboard, I showed how to set up new payers and your services in a previous demo. Right now, I'm going to talk about more about how to set up your accrual accounting within Lightning Step. So I'm going to start out going back to the billing configuration and under payer management. So in here is where you're going to set up your accrued accounting. So right here, if I have an out-of-network insurance, Cigna, for instance, if I'm out-of-network with Cigna, this is where I'm going to input my expected revenue by level of care. So if you can see here I have two for inpatient residential. I have one for detox and one for IOP. IOP, I'm currently accruing 32% of my billed amount, which is $352. That's the amount I'm expecting to get paid by Cigna on an IOP level of care on an average. Now, detox, 51% of my build, and inpatient residential from 1/1 to 3/30, I was accruing 52% of my build amount at $1,800 a day. Well, I found out around March 30th that, at Cigna's paying me a lot more for residential. I need to increase my accrual rate. So I have plugged in starting 3/31 going forward, 60% of bill to start accruing. Okay. So if I was in network with an insurance company, let's see which one, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, I'm going to have my rates in here. Okay. So, and it will accrue your in-network rate for those insurance companies which you are contracted with. So the 100% of your bill will be accrued. If you would like to not accrue 100%, enter them down here and enter your rates right here at 90% of billed or 95% of billed and accrue that for that payer. Okay. So the other way is the other thing, if you have a private pay, right? So that what I just went through is how you set up your accrued revenue by level of care, by payer within Lightning Step. So when the charges auto-generate, which is talked about on the billing configuration demo, when those charges auto-generate, you will auto-accrue whatever is set up under this payer management section, okay, for insurance. So when I have a private pay customer come in, I want to also accrue those amounts. So under the financial section, let's say I was a private pay client only, this is where I would enter in what I will be paying, okay? So residential, I was in residential from 1/1 to 5/31. And I was paying $1,000 a day. So every day I'm in a house in residential, since I have that service auto-generating charges, it's going to pull $1,000 a day for a private pay patient. For instance, let's say John Cougar, and I'm going to go ahead and delete or make these inactive, okay? This is insurance quit paying, okay? And I'm going to add that he went to private pay. See, as I made these not active, his insurance is no longer going to be billed. So I'm going to make his payer private pay, okay? I'm going to save. And then I'm going to come back in here I'm going to enter his private pay rate. Let's say he's paying $500 a day starting today, which is 6/15/2018, and there's an unknown time when he's going to discharge. Okay, so when he discharges, those rates will stop accruing. Let's say at day 30, let's say July 14th, he comes back to me and says, okay, I can't pay $500 a day, but I can pay $300 a day. Are y'all willing to do that? And you have a lot of open beds. Hopefully that's not the case. But if you have a lot of open beds and you're willing to take $300 a day, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put 7/14. Starting 7/14, he's going to start paying $300 a day. Now I'm going to terminate I'm going to end date this one as well. Okay. So it's going to start accruing $300 a day on private pay for that client, starting on 7/14 going forward. So I'm going to hit save. Okay. So that's what you need to do whenever a client comes in. Make sure that you enter their private pay rate in this section when you set up the payer as private pay. Okay. So that way, from day one, when that person's head is in the bed at midnight, it's going to charge $500 for that patient for that day. All right. And go to the account profile for John Cougar. Let's actually go back. So what that does is, once you have those set up correctly, and again, make sure that whenever you enter in a new payer, make sure you put in the expected revenue for that payer. Because if you do not have an expected revenue set up for that payer, it will accrue the full build rate. So this is very important to make sure when you add a payer, when you have a new admit come in that has a different insurance company that you've never worked with, make sure you enter in the expected revenue for that payer. Or if you have an in-network contract, make sure you put in the in-network contract rate when you get that new contract. Okay. So, and then also, so when a client comes in, again, when a client comes in day one, make sure you put their daily rate that should be accruing for that client. Even if you got $30,000 up front for 30 days, put in $1,000 a day for that client, because you're earning $1,000 a day every day that client is in-house. Okay. So what that does is, once that's set up correctly, and as Gina showed you in the billing demo, every day they're on that in-house, these charges will accrue. Okay. And on the claims queue, based on what I have set up in my billing configuration, it will generate once I approve those charges, it will generate the expected revenue. So as you can see here, some of these are set up to be $253 a day. United Behavioral Health obviously is 100% of revenue. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas is $275 a day for an IOP. So all these charges will auto-generate your expected revenue. At the end of every month, as long as you have it set up correctly and those charges are generating the correct amount that you have inputted into the system, or at any point in time in the month, you go to your financial dashboard, which can be found under Administration, Reports, Accrued Revenue Reports, and make sure you have the right year. You can filter by payer or program, certain locations, and certain programs or certain levels of care. So I'm going to generate these charges, or this report, Accrued Revenue Report, and I'm going to be able to see for January by insurance company what revenue I've generated on an accrual basis for that month. Now we're mid-June. Right now it's June 15th, and I've generated $22,750 in revenue on an accrual basis. Okay. So waterfall report. So you can also click in here and you can see the detail within each of these buckets of how that accrued revenue is made up. Okay. So I can export it to Excel. It's only, when you export it to Excel, it's only going to give you the high level. It's not going to give you the detail within these buckets. Okay. I can click on the patient's profile as well, and it'll take me to the patient's account profile when I click on the patient's name. Okay. So in here, I also have a waterfall report. So the waterfall report is an insurance waterfall report. So it gives me the total amount I billed for that month, total amount of revenue I accrued, insurance related, total insurance paid, and total amount collected for that month. Okay. Shows me how my revenue accruals are doing. Now, I'm going to go into aging reports. So aging reports, you have your aging report here. You type in, see, I'm going to see all the open claims of Carlos Mittens. He has quite a few. He's got a bunch over 120. So I'm going to want to look at those, right? I'm going to figure out what's going on with those claims. Now, there's also another aging report in the financial dashboard. This is your outstanding AR button. So in here, I'm going to click in here. This gives me my different buckets. So 0 to 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, 91 to 20, and greater than 120. So these are all my open claims. So in here, I can add, when my collectors are working on claims, I can add a claim status. There's a drop down here, okay, for different things that are going on, or I can edit the drop down, and I can put in not paying. Let's just say, I can add whatever I'd like into that drop down. So it says not paying. Okay. So your collectors can write little statuses to know, kind of where things are, or for management to come in and look at, okay, what's going on with this claim? Medical records have been requested. Okay, that makes sense why it's outstanding. Now it needs to be updated when medical records are sent, right? So in here, I can also add a note. So if I want to add a note, I could say called rep on 6/15/18, reference number, claim, medical records received on 5/20/18, currently reviewing. Okay. So and that note will go on that patient's account profile. Okay. So if I want to go look at Carlos Mittens, look at what's going on, I can see right here that note I just added. Okay. So that's it so far for a high-level overview of more accrued revenue and some reporting functions. If you have any questions, please reach out to any Lightning Step employee at any point in time. My personal cell phone number is area code 713-206-7337. I'm here to answer any questions regarding the financial section of Lightning Step. Thank you so much and have a great day.